this is now. So, at the very beginning, creation, God created us by His blood, correct? And as you said, He created us very different from the rest of the creation. Why? The reason that God created us is because He loves us. Yes? It's a gift. To do what with the gift? To be with Him. To enjoy being with God. To enjoy His heaven. To enjoy everything that God is. That's the purpose of the creation.
But that's
not a test.
That's not
because
a necessary.
If this is a test,
that's preaching.
That's not preaching.
No. I mean, you are spiritual, right?
No,
we don't need to be emotional.
No, it's okay.
Like, it's a very logical question.
It's a very logical question.
Yeah, good.
If
So
you were created to be tested, then there is no point of your creation.
No. We were created because we were chosen. Yeah, and we are tested.
Continue.
Why are you created? This is the fundamental question.
Yes.
You're not created to be tested because God doesn't need to test you.
But it's part of the creation. We are
Absolutely
tested.
not.
Then why we have Judgment Day?
Very good.
Why we have hell and
later.
paradise?
But God created you in paradise. Why did He create you in paradise? Because this is the place He wanted you to live forever. If He wanted you to die, then why did He create you? God didn't want you to die. God wanted you to live forever.
Do you agree? Do you agree with me that it was in the knowledge of God that whatever has happened in the past and whatever experiences that we are going through, it was in God's knowledge for that to take place. So in other words, for Adam and Eve to obviously not listen to what God has commanded them,
did He knew that from before?
Did He knew this from before?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's exactly my point.
No, it's not the point. So this is different than why He created them. Like whether He knew what they're going to do, that's very different. He knew that this is what they're going to do, that's fine, but that doesn't mean He created them for a different purpose. God created them to live forever. How they were going to live forever, and you said we're created differently. We need God to live. Why? Because God is the only being who exists. God is the source of life, correct? So in order for us to stay alive, we needed to be connected with Him. Imagine a light bulb. Yeah? How will the light bulb have light? It has to be connected to electricity. The second the light bulb disconnects from electricity, it will be turned off.
So why we have hell?
For the only way for us to sustain life is what? To stay with God. What does it mean to stay with God? This is where the free will came in. What was the free will? Guys, I have given you this gift. This gift is life itself. Stay connected with me, you will live forever. Disconnect yourself from me, you're going to die.
Okay, so
that's what He said.
That's fine.
That's not a test.
No, hold on.
Free will.
1 second.
This is very different.
In that free will,
if you
let me finish. Okay.
If you have a relationship with your wife, you're not forced to love her. You choose to love her. Why? Because in your free will, you're choosing to love your wife. And this is meaning that love has a meaning. Without that choice, without the choice of you picking to love her or not, that love wouldn't have meant anything.
Okay.
Otherwise, love me. We're not robots.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying to you, right, is that we have free will, right?
Yes.
And we have the choice whether to choose right or wrong.
Very good.
Hold on 1 second. Within that there is a test within that in itself, and I'll tell you why, right? Because
I agree that there is a. Let me finish. I agree that there is a test in free will.
That's it.
But we're not created for the test.
No, hold on 1 second.
This is different.
I said to you, this is what I see. If we go back to the drawing board, right? The Quran says that He's created man and the jinn that they may worship Him, right? And yes, we are living in a testing world, whether you like it or not, whether you deny it or not, right? And yes, we have the choice.
We're not created to be tested. We're created with the choice.
I'm not disagreeing.
These are two different concepts.
Hold on 1 second. We have been created with the ability to choose right and wrong, and within that, that's a test in itself. Would you disagree with that?
I don't disagree with that.
Right. Hold on 1 second.
That's not the purpose of the creation.
I am not saying that's the purpose of the creation. What I'm saying is that forms part of the test, right? And we are in this world, and we are being tested as we speak. I can choose to turn left, or I can choose to turn right. I can choose to take the wrong.
I'm not talking about the details of the test. Why? Because I don't want to go away from this bit. This bit that I was trying to tell you about, we have a choice. We agree on that, correct? Very good. And I have the choice at the very beginning. If you stay connected with me, you will live forever. If you disconnect from me, you will die. And that was what God have said. If you eat from the tree, you will die. Why?
Metaphorically speaking.
Not metaphorically.
No, hold on. I want to clarify. When I say metaphorically, I mean that yes, if we stay connected to the Creator by worshipping Him, by obeying His commands, by sticking to His legislations, then yes, we will live. There's no question about that. We will live.
But you're going to die.
One second. When I say this is why I said metaphorically or figuratively, and let me qualify what I mean by that, right? Because I knew you would come back with that. When I say metaphorically, I mean that we're not going to live forever in a physical realm. Right? If we obey God and we obey His commandments and we stick to His Sharia, if I want to use that term, His legislations, and we follow what He's asked us to do, yes, we will die. But then when He raises us on that day and we tried our best to follow His commandments, then He would reward us by living forever in the eternal bliss. Would you disagree with that?
Yes. I agree with what you said, right. I disagree fundamentally of the purpose of creation.
Okay, so that means we have to agree to disagree on this point.
Very good. Because you're saying God that you worship created you with a body that is going to die.
Sorry?
God who you worship created you with a body that eventually will die.
Yes, definitely.
Our God didn't create us with that.
Okay.
Death entered with the disobedience of God. These are very two
disobedience of who?
Of God. When we disconnected ourselves from God, when Adam and Eve disobeyed God, when Adam and Eve ate from that tree and they didn't choose God, that's when death started to come. Before that,
did Jesus say that?
No, that's the biblical.
See,
that's the view.
Hold on 1 second. Because your
creation. Forget Jesus.
No, because you're giving me a biblical understanding. You're presenting.
I'm saying forget what happened.
No. It's very important because your presentation is a very.
Please, of course.
Your presentation is very biblical, right? I don't think you're going to be. It
Why?
is because
it's only logical.
No, it's not logical. I don't think anyone's going to think.
If you believe that God created you to die at a certain point in your life, this is not the same God we worship. The God we worship didn't create us to die at a certain point.
Hold on. You said it's a logical belief to believe that because what Adam and Eve have done, that.
I think when you say like logically, God created you not to die, but you're not dying according to your belief that you are not going to die, and God didn't create you to die, and you say at the same time, let's talk logically. This is not logic. Because
so
when you're talking about logic,
logically,
you have
God
aging.
created you to die.
Yes, you are human. Did you see any human that he couldn't die?
Yeah, but that's more logical to believe that the fact that we are on this world, in this world, and that we will go through the transition of death. That's a logical belief to follow. What you're saying is not logical because what you're saying is more scripturally based. What you're saying is more
logical.
And I tell you, very simple. Because if I was an atheist, for example, right, I'm not going to wake up one day and think, oh, Adam and Eve, they sinned. Wait, no, hold on 1 second. It's very, no, because you're using the word logical. Right? Yeah. And it's not logical to wake up one day and think, oh, Adam and Eve, they sinned, so therefore, because of what they've done, death entered into the creation. That's not a logical, that's a theological belief. Am I right or wrong? It's a theological belief.
Another thing, where were Adam and Eve, where were they? They were in paradise, right? So in paradise, do you have death? Okay, so what you are claiming, what you are saying, is unrelated to what we are talking to. So we believe in Jannah, in paradise, you don't die. You're always living forever. And that's the ultimate reward, right? But the fundamental question, you are sticking to the point about why we were created. And I think, to my opinion, as someone maybe, just seeing life for 1 hour, I think this is not the topic. I think it shouldn't be the topic. I'll tell you why.
If we understand this, we can discuss the rest.
I'll tell you why.
If we don't understand this, there is no point.
I'll tell you why. Because I don't think this is a fundamental disagreement between Christianity and Islam. I think the fundamental disagreement is if Jesus...
It is a fundamental disagreement.
I'll tell you why.
No, I'm telling you, it is a fundamental disagreement.
But I don't think it's a fundamental. I don't think today's debate is about why we were created. Rather,
you guys trying to talk about Jesus. Very good. You guys are trying to talk to Jesus. Without we understand the creation, there is no point of talking about Jesus.
I would go as someone, let's say third party, who is not even Muslim or Christian, let's say someone who's agnostic, right? If I would agree what you are saying, you are preaching to me, I'm saying, you are saying you have to be connected to God. And I'm asking you how I could be connected to God. Till now you couldn't explain how.
Because
to us,
get there. It's very easily.
How?
If God has told us one thing, do not do. Otherwise, you're
which is religion, way of life, right?
Sorry?
Religion, which is way of life, legislation.
No. God told Adam and Eve one thing: choose me or not choose me. Choose me, listen to what I've said. Don't choose me, then eat from that tree. He told them one thing you need to do. One thing you need not to do.
But that was in paradise.
Don't eat from that tree. If you eat from that tree, you're going to die. That means that
so there was death. You said there was not death. There was no death.
He told them, if you eat from that tree, you will die.
So there was death.
No, there was no death.
But how God told them that if you eat it, you're gonna die.
So you're bored?
No, I'm yawning. No, I don't understand. Just to get more oxygen to my lungs.
So that's the disagreement we have. God created us to live forever. Yes? No, the only way we are going to live forever, my God that I worship didn't create me to die.
Okay, that's why I was saying.
My God,
right?
The God of Christianity, the God of all of the Christians, didn't create humanity for humanity to die.
Okay, let's establish that. 1 second, okay.
Right?
Let's establish that. Okay, let's say we agree with you. So
that's fundamental.
Okay,
Why is it fundamental?
Okay.
Because if God created you to die at a certain point in your life, then there is no point of creation.
Okay. So let's say establish that. Okay.
Very good. So in order for me to stay alive, we needed to stay with Him. When we disobeyed Him, we were going to die. So this is a consequence, a severe consequence of us disobeying Him. When that happened, we got disconnected. We have no connection back.
You were disobeyed. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
In that disobeyment, there was no connection back to God.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to say.
Okay.
So, if what we're saying at the very beginning, my very first question to you, if God, you said that God is merciful, if God forgave you, why weren't you back in paradise?
Listen. This is what you presented here is theological belief, right?
Yep.
It's a theological belief. So when you said that if we disconnect from God, yes, of course, if we disconnect from the Creator, we've both established that we will end up we will end up in a lot of trouble. We'll end up in a lot of problems, in front of the Creator, because if we do not obey God, or if we disobey God, then yes, the consequences of hell is very, very high and likely. But remember, I brought it back to a very important point, which I feel you are deflecting, right?
I'm not going to talk to you.
I feel. So hold on. Hold on. Sorry, I just want to finish this point. I feel that you are deflecting this, and I am not saying that what we are talking about in the beginning of discussion is not important, because I feel that I have responded to that. But for some reason, you are repeating it quite often, as if like you're not possibly satisfied with the answer, and that's fine. And this is why I was saying we can agree to disagree on that issue. But the most important question, which I still phrase
now, if that's what you want. So, just to understand, we weren't created to die. You believe that we are created to die, and this is a fundamental difference between what we believe in and what you believe in. we were not created to die. You believe that you were created to die, and this is fundamental.
No, but death is part of the human cycle.
Absolutely not.
Right. Well, yes, it is. Are you gonna live forever?
That was God's creation for us.
Wait, hold on. You're in this world right now. Are you gonna die?
Hamza, that's what I was trying to explain at the very beginning. We need to understand the creation to understand everything else.
I never disagreed. I never disagreed.
No, you are.
No, what I'm saying.
The Christian view of the creation is humanity were created to live forever. Your point of view of the creation, you are created to die.
No.
This is fundamental.
No. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
In the
1 second. What I'm saying, we're gonna take it back to the drawing board, right? I said to you in the beginning, right, that yes, we have been created, and we live in this world, right? And part of the creation of God is that we are going through a test, and we are. And the reason, and you never disagreed with me about the discussion of free will, right? We are free will agents, right? We can choose to obey or disobey.
Absolutely.
And part of that free will, the fact that we are able to choose right and wrong, is a test in itself, right? It's a test in itself. That's the test. We can choose, hold on 1 second, we can choose to obey or disobey, right? We can choose to fornicate or we can choose to marry. We can choose to steal or we can live a righteous life. We can choose to, exactly. So what I'm saying to you, we live in a world where we are tested. And that's just hear me out. I want you to hear me out first, right? Hence why there's hell and there's heaven. There's a day of judgment, because we are going to be tested. We are going to be questioned as a result of our actions. If we lived a dishonest and unfruitful life, then the likelihood of hell is a very high destination. If we live a righteous life with our human incapabilities, we will hopefully, by the permission of God, reach paradise. But I'm going to draw it back to what I was saying, because this is the most important crux of the matter, and I feel that you have completely disowned or
Today's debate is about Jesus.
It's whether Jesus being God or not.
That's fine. We need, before talking about Jesus,
we did.
I think we are just going around in circles.
What was your point? I didn't get your point. I agree with everything you said there.
So you come. Sorry.
I agree with everything you said there, but what was your point though?
So you came really late in the discussion. No, you really did.
I apologize.
Sorry.
we agree. We have to agree that our definition of creation is different.
Okay, let's say yeah.
Okay.
Why? Because that is putting the foundations of the rest of the story. So that's where we differ. However, just for the sake of the discussion, we want to talk about Jesus. I'm going to tell you 3 things that are proving that Jesus is God from outside the Bible. Did Jesus exist as a person? Do you agree?
Yeah.
The history
As a
is
person.
proving that Jesus was a person. So we agree that
So
Jesus
define a person.
someone who existed on this planet.
Okay. When we say personhood, are we talking about a creation or a creator?